up, tribe? How you guys doing? Happy Sunday evening. Sorry I had to push the time back. Child, I was watching the football game and I lost track of time. I said, oh, shoot. I said, oh, shoot. Potomac is on. So I had to push everything back because, baby, that game went into overtime. It was a good game, honey. So what's up to the people? Let's get ready to get into the things of the things. Let me say hi, and then we're going to get into it, you guys, because this was a whole mess. This was really a whole mess. Yeah, this was a whole mess. Production, I'm really not caring for the producers, the way they're producing this show. They're really turning it into, sometimes the stuff they do is cute, but then other times I feel like they're really turning it into a caricature of things, right? But let's get into it. What's up, L Love? Hey, Montrez, Miss Sharon. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I'm starting from the beginning. Let me start from the beginning. Oh, Lord, we moving slow, y'all. We moving slow. Hey, Nikki B, Lemon Kush, Kimberly Johnson, Amber, Cool Gamer. Hey, Katrina, child watching the show just angers me. These women are ridiculous, child. They are. L Love, Montrez, Miss Sharon. Just listening. Hey, that's a cute name. Hey, Vintage 1970, Amber. Montrez said, I haven't watched the episode yet. I'll catch it at 10:30. Well, child, All right, let's get into the things of the things, y'all. Hey, Paul, how you doing? So we start this episode off. We have Nneka picking her husband up from the hospital. Not from the hospital, from the airport. He is a traveling doctor. So he goes away for a week and then he comes back for a week and they do like a week on, week off thing. But he's looking for something more permanent so that, he doesn't have to do the back and forth. Child, she's still trying to have a baby. So she said, well, maybe while you home this week, I'll be ovulating. Okay. While they're in the car, Karen calls and invites her to pickleball. So, she's excited about that. She was like, oh my goodness, it's so great that you invited me down to the pickleball situation, right? Wendy was acting weird like Nene at the pajama party. Let me tell you something. We'll get to that, Nikki. Remind me, because we'll get to that, because I definitely have some observations about this whole situation. Okay. I'm gonna watch that when I get off of here, Montrez. I'm gonna watch the Soul Train Awards. If it's worth talking about, we'll talk about it. So we find out that Nneka's husband was actually there when the phone call came from her sister-in-law saying that Wendy's mama said something about putting her on the altar or something. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I really feel like this story changed 2 or 3 times. This whole story is just weird to me, to be perfectly honest. But I feel like we have already gone through 3 or 4 incarnations of this story. So and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but first she said that she knew Wendy in passing. Then she made it seem like she did know Wendy. Then it was, I don't know Wendy. I don't know. Like, do you know Wendy? Like, were you at events with Wendy, or do you know Wendy? See, me being somewhere where somebody is does not mean I know them. And we're going to get back to that. We're going to get back to that when we get to the Facebook thing. Y'all don't let me forget about this whole Facebook situation. So we find out that Eddie and, well, actually, I'm about to say it now. Eddie and Nneka's husband actually went to the University of Maryland together, and they were a part of the African Student Union. And she says that Eddie unfollowed her, that they were Facebook friends, but then Eddie unfollowed them right after this phone call came through. And of course, she's insinuating that that's because of Wendy, that they were, that he unfollowed Eddie. Now, let me say this about the Facebook thing. I don't know nothing about the following and the unfollowing. Let me just say it now, because y'all know I'll forget by the time we get to that. So I don't know nothing about the following and the unfollowing situation. But I do know, and first of all, who the fuck will really be using Facebook like that? Second of all, you do know the whole point of Facebook is connecting you with people that you may have known in a, like in your life. So whether it's high school, elementary school, college. So if I put that I went to the University of Maryland and you went to the University of Maryland, at some point, Facebook is going to say, hey, do you know this person? Somewhere in the last 20, 30 years of Facebook's existence, they probably did follow each other, right? They probably did follow each other, especially if they were both part of the African Student Union. They probably have a lot of friends in common. That happens to me all the time. Do you know how many people I follow that I went to high school with that I didn't really know like that in high school or college went that I didn't really know? Like I knew who they were or I knew of them, but I didn't know them. Do y'all know how big the University of Maryland College Park is? The University of Maryland College Park is a huge campus with thousands and thousands and thousands of students. I'm pretty certain that even the African Student Union is a huge organization. It's probably hundreds of them in that organization. And maybe they were at meetings together, maybe they weren't at meetings together. Like, I don't know. But to make it seem like, oh yeah, they knew each other in college because they were Facebook friends. I was waiting, I was waiting for Nneka to be like, well, yeah, he was the vice president and he was the president and they were in the cabinet together or they were both officers at the same time. Like, I was waiting for her to give me something that made me be like, okay, come on, Eddie. Like, okay, you must know him. But just to say they were in the African Student Union together at a school like the University of Maryland College Park, are you crazy? Now, as far as the unfollowing part, Eddie may very well have unfollowed this person, you know, and actually it probably wasn't even Eddie, it probably really was Wendy. But let's remember, and like Xavier said, we don't know the timeline of all of that stuff. But if the unfollowing came around the same time that Wendy got this information that Nneka was out here trying to spread rumors about her, i.e., via Ashley, I can absolutely see Wendy being like, yeah, we not rocking with her. Like, no, that's her husband. Unfollow her. You know, I can see that being a thing, right? I can see that being a thing. But I'm gonna put a pin in that until we get to the end of this episode. But I just had to get that out before I forget, child. A relative that you might have lost touch with too. Facebook is great for that purpose only. So when Nneka's husband took a screenshot of Eddie following him, that's straight. Child, it's crazy. She's making it seem like they work closely together. Right. I'm a Delta and have the people that follow me. I don't know. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, there are literally people that went to Bennett College. That's where I went to undergrad. That I follow. That I just only thing we got in common is that we both went to Bennett. I don't know them people. And Bennett is not even a big school, but we might not have been like I might have met them through the alumni. Anyway, it's crazy. It's crazy. So we're gonna come back to that because let's be clear too. And I'm not saying that Nneka went through all of this trouble. Let's be clear. I'm not saying that Nneka went through all this trouble, but let's not saying act like somebody can't create a Facebook profile. Like, you can absolutely create a Facebook profile says Eddie Osefo. You can get a picture of him off of his Instagram and you can show, oh, follow, unfollow. Like, I'm not saying that she would go through all that trouble, but what I am saying is we are really putting way too much effort and energy on this man following him or unfollowing him on Facebook. It is so not that serious. Like, the fact that you are really getting that upset, like, he act like he was really about to fight this dude over him. Come on, bro. You gonna lie? Don't lie, bro. About Facebook? So are you serious right now? And I'm not saying Eddie was telling the truth. I'm just saying, why are we making such a big deal about it? Like, is it that serious? But okay, I'm sorry. Let me put a pin in that. Let's go back. So let's go back to the episode because we're gonna have plenty of time to talk about all of the things down to the pickleball. Okay. Friend someone because they're friends with a lot of your friends. Right. SDK, like, shout. Right. I know you, but I don't know you. Right. I knew. Right. Like, girl. Anyway. So then we have Gizelle and Robyn going out to lunch. Now, this is after they went down to Atlanta for their reasonably shady show down to the Atlanta. And Gizelle is trying to talk to Robyn because she said that basically her and Juan had a very heated conversation down to the podcast. Let me tell y'all what I'm sick of. Come here. I ain't even giving you a tap, tap, tap. I am sick of Robyn looking stupid. Because first Robyn was like, well, I mean, I saw y'all talking, but I don't really know what was being said. But then in her confessional, she know the whole conversation. Well, Juan said basically that, you know, he wasn't putting his you know what in anybody. And I mean, he wasn't yelling, but he was just trying to get his point across. But when you were talking to Gizelle, you were like, oh yeah, I saw y'all talking, but I don't really know what y'all was talking about. So then Gizelle was like, well, Juan yelled at me. He didn't yell at you. Did y'all hear when she said, well, you know, he's a little hard of hearing from coaching. Robyn, your husband was a coach for 2-3 years max. He lost his hearing to the point where he was yelling at Rob at Gizelle. He lost his hearing. He hard of hearing now because in 3 years he was coaching in that empty ass gym. Okay, girl. I'm sorry, that was shady. I don't want to talk about Coppin like that. Coppin State might have a full gym. I ain't never been to a game down to the Coppin State. But girl, I'm like, Robyn, do you hear how stupid you sound when you come up with these things? He wasn't yelling at you, Gizelle. He's hard of hearing. He was just, you know, trying to get his point across. Girl. Either way, Robyn, Gizelle, and Juan had a little heated conversation, and at this point, Gizelle was like, "Listen, I said my piece, and I'm going home. Okay, I said my piece, and I'm done with it. Like, if you want to sit here and just continue to look stupid on national television, girl, you do you. I mean, you know." So then Robyn says, "Well, girl, I got something to tell you. I ain't supposed to tell you, but I'm gonna tell you." Oh, now he lost his hair when Canada wrapped her thighs around his head. Hey, Colton. So Robyn proceeds to repeat the conversation that she had with Nneka about Wendy and her mama in the shrine or whatever. And of course, because they don't like Wendy, of course they believe it. Oh, I believe it. Oh, yeah, that's probably what happened. Oh, well, that's terrible. I mean, so what? She wants to be the only Nigerian on the show. Oh, so what? She don't want to be friends. She don't want us to be friends with her. I mean, that what it is? So y'all are just assuming that what this woman is saying is true. Ain't nobody asked Wendy shit. Y'all just gonna keep gossiping and just keep repeating it. Ain't nobody asked Wendy nothing. Y'all just gonna believe that that's the case. All right then. Y'all said in the early stages of Facebook, you needed to have a college email to have an account. I say that to say if you had somebody as a friend way back then, you might not remember them now. Facts, yeah. I mean, Facebook started. You had to have a college email. It was only for college students. You're right. Very valid point. Very very valid point. So, I mean, and again, I know it's a reality show, y'all. I get the drama, but like, ain't nobody gonna ask Wendy nothing. We just gonna take this woman who we just met. We don't like. You may not know Wendy, but you've been around Wendy for, at this point, what, 3 to 4 years at this point. But this woman that just walked off the street. We don't know nothing about her, right? Don't know nothing about her, but she coming here telling us. To me, that's a crazy thing to say that your mother called. Now, the whole cloud chasing thing. Again, I told y'all, I feel like this is just a badly recycled storyline from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's the same production team, and I honestly just feel like this is a recycled storyline. Excuse me. And I just can't put a whole lot of validity into it. That's just my opinion. And I mean, I think I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I think parts of the story are true, but I do not believe that the whole story went down the way Nneka is saying it went down. Now, I do believe part of the story is true, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. All right. So then we have Dorothy and Candace. They getting along, child. Candace said that, I guess, doing so well and sticking with her music career has sort of, her mom has sort of kind of given her a different level of respect. Um, and so they're actually in a better place. You know, her mama says she's gonna buy her some new dishwashers because them dishwashers are trash. Okay. Um, and they seem to just be in a better space. They really do, until they get to talking about Chris and money. Now, listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think that was a really good conversation. I think that I think that had we not already had the bad blood between Candace's mom and Chris and some of the things she has said in the past, the conversation that they had tonight on tonight's episode was actually a very valid conversation. And I'm sorry, I'm just have to side with Candace's mama on this one, okay? Candace's mama said, okay, well, he talking about budgets and how we spending our money. Is he working? What's Chris doing? And Candace was like, well, he's still doing his, private classes, or virtual classes or whatever, and he's doing private events. And I'm not putting nobody down because listen, my sister is a chef. I've told y'all that before. She is a trained chef. She has a degree in culinary arts, and she has worked as an executive chef. She's done she's done some really great things, and she has done catering. But let's be clear. Let's be very clear. Chris ain't bringing in a whole lot of money between doing virtual classes and catering jobs. I'm not saying he's not making a living. I'm not saying he's not making a living, but let's be clear. They living in $1 million house. Well, more than $1 million house. So I don't think that Mama Dorothy asking about his income and his input into the family income I mean, it's not her business. Let's be clear. But I don't think that the way in which she said it, I don't think she was being rude. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she was being rude. That still ain't her business. It still ain't her business, but I'm just saying we have seen Mama Dorothy be ruder than that. So yeah. All right. But that was a cute little scene. It was nice to see Candace and her mom not be nasty to each other. I mean, Candace said, listen, we still have our moments. We still have our moments. Then Candace was talking about the reason why Chris really quit his job was because of the work hours. And again, as somebody who has seen somebody in that world, it is valid. My sister, that's why my sister left after she had her son, after she had my nephew. She was like, the work hours are just crazy. And she said, I need a more consistent schedule, even with her husband. Like, I need a more consistent schedule, because I have a child now, picking him up, dropping him off, being consistent, being home in the evenings. And, working at a restaurant, especially when you're in management, it is not easy. If somebody calls out, like Chris said, if you have a big party, especially around the holidays when people are booking, these holiday parties and stuff like that, like you are responsible for all of that. So it's not, it really is hard. So I understand why Chris would leave, and I even understand why he wants to be his own boss. But again, we know, I ain't gonna say what we know. I'm gonna say what I think. I don't think he breaking the bank. Now, that don't mean, again, that does not mean he's not making a living, y'all. That does not mean he's not contributing to the household. I just think that Mama Dorothy was like, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, there was a TikTok that code switched with Wendy's mom and how Nneka initially twisted it, knowing a lot of us wouldn't get it. I'm gonna tell you what I think in a minute, but hold on to that one, JJ Nessa. You hold on, because I'm telling you where I think I'm getting ready to go with it. Okay. So now we get down to the pickleball situation, because again, the majority of this episode was this whole pickleball situation. Karen and her husband, Ray. Child, they are dressed up in green for the theme of the whole pickle thing. Now, y'all know I went, Karen had a pop-up earlier this year down to the was it yeah, down to the Macy's, honey. And I went, and me and Ray had a delightful conversation. I got there early, so it wasn't a lot of people when I got there, so we could talk, right? We could have a whole little conversation. And me and Karen had a good conversation too. I told her I'd be defending her down here. I told her I'd be having her back down here. I should have asked her for an interview, but I didn't even think about it at the time. But then me and Ray had we had a really nice conversation. Ray's a sweetheart. It really is a sweetheart. But if y'all think that I believe that Ray be out there playing pickleball on a regular basis, I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell y'all. Now, I do think that he be playing pickleball, okay? But I don't know how often he be playing pickleball. Did y'all peep that Mia and her husband showed up separately? Am I the only one that peeped that? Which, you know, again, that just brings us back to where Mia and Ray are as far, I mean, and not Ray, GR as far as their marriage is concerned. I thought that was interesting that they showed up separately. Because let's be clear, don't even one of y'all have a job. Where y'all coming from? Bloomingdale's. Thank you, Miss Sharon. I said Macy's. I meant Bloomingdale's. Bloomingdale's. Thank you, Miss Sharon. It's Bloomingdale's. We was down to the Bloomingdale's. Because Miss Sharon, you went too, right? But we didn't. You went later. You went after I was there, but you were there too, right? Am I the only one that peep that they showed up separately? And I'm trying to figure out why they showed up separately. Y'all live at the same place, allegedly. Don't even one of y'all have a job. Why y'all ain't ride together? Now, I know sometimes, you know, oh, I got to run an errand and I'll meet you there. But again, let's be clear. Logistically, Mia and G live. Now, I don't know where this pickleball place was. But no, they didn't. Most of the couples did not show up separately, Bug News. All of them came together except for them. At least that's the way it was edited. Gizelle got there first. Chris didn't come, so Candace was there by herself. Ashley don't have no man, so Ashley came by herself. But Wendy and her husband showed up together. We didn't see Nneka pull up. Or did we? Did we see Nneka pull up? But we saw Wendy and Eddie pull up. Kern and G, we saw them together. Juan and Robyn showed up together. No, Wendy and Eddie came together too, Bug News. The only people that they show up separately was Mia and G. Pickleball is big everywhere. Pickleball is becoming big everywhere. Matter of fact, who was it? They had a whole show this summer with pickleball. I have some friends who play pickleball, and they're younger. I mean, they're like my age. They're not seniors, but I mean, you know. But anyway, so the people that showing up for the pickleball child. You thought whose husband came later? Robyn and Juan? No, they rode together. All right, well, I didn't see it, so I missed it. I ain't see it. The only people I saw come separately was me and G. I missed Juan and Robyn coming in separate vehicles. They look like they rode together to me. But okay. Me and G did not come together. Yeah, they didn't come together. They came in. Mia came in the SUV, and they showed her getting out of her truck, and G parked next to her, and G was getting out of his car. That's the only couple that they showed coming separately that I recall. Now, again, y'all might have saw somebody and see. I must have missed it. But okay. We heard what from Jamie? Amber, what we hear from Jamie? Yeah, pickleball has become big. I mean, it's across the country that pickleball has become a big thing. Like I said, there was a whole TV show this summer about pickleball. It was a competition show. And then like I said, who was that celebrity? I want to say it might have been Jamie Foxx, I'm not sure, or Kevin Hart, but they're starting their own, like they're investing in a pickleball league. It was like a couple of celebrities that were investing in the pickleball league. Right. Mia came in the truck and G came, he got, we literally saw them getting out of two different cars. Right. Mia and G came separately. Now that I know. Right. That's what I'm saying. They came separately, but I didn't see anybody else come separately. But again, I ain't, y'all might have saw something I didn't see. But hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me look. Let me look. Let me look. Hold on. Let me look. Because I got it playing in my TV right here. Juan and Robyn showed up together. They showed up in a BMW truck. And Ron, I'm looking at it right now on my TV. Juan and Robyn showed up together. Juan and Robyn showed up together. Wendy and Eddie showed up together. I don't think they showed Nneka. I don't think they showed Nneka getting out the car. And they showed Mia and G showed up. They were in separate cars. Mia was at an SUV. G was in a car. That I know I saw. Right. That's what I'm saying, JJ. Would they show Robyn and Juan get out of the same truck? We saw them pull up and we saw them get out the car. And that's when they were playing the whole thing of all the things that people said about Juan. Exactly. Yeah. Moving on. Moving on. No, Mia and G walked in together, but they didn't pull up together. They rode together in different cars. But no, they did. They walked and they were even holding hands. But again, it's all for the camera. That's the only thing I was just bringing up, Chad. Gizelle's hairdresser, right? Because that's her hairdresser. That ain't her man. Yeah. Thank you, Xavier. Moving on. I don't know why we spent so much time on that. Okay. So everybody shows up and Candace trying to bring all the people together. And Candace said it'll be a cold day in hell before her and Robyn are ever good again. And Robyn said that she ain't gonna be good with Candace. And so I don't know, by the end of the season, child, they'll be friends again. Child, not Robyn, Gizelle. Candace said it'll be a cold day in hell before she cool with Gizelle again. Mind you, they just filmed a whole Ultimate Girls trip together where they did actually have a conversation. Now they weren't friends, they weren't bosom buddies, but whatever, they did what needed to be done, child, I guess, to make the little coin. He been more of a man. Oh, y'all talking about something else. Okay. That doesn't necessarily mean they're not together. They could have been running separate. Yeah. I said that. All I was doing was giving y'all an observation that they showed up in separate cars. But I said maybe they were out running errands and all of that. But I was just bringing up an observation, y'all. I was just giving you the observation that they're the only couple. Why are we spending so much time on this? I was just giving y'all the observation. That's it. Because we now know that they're not together. So I was just observing the fact that they showed up separately. When did the separation start? That's all I was saying. I'm just giving y'all the observation. That's it. Okay. Moving on. So we are down to the pickleball. And Kern is trying to bring everybody together. But listen, like I said, I just don't know if this is going to be a thing. Juan shows up, and of course they have to make a big deal about it. But listen, what in the entire was Robyn wearing? That's all I was saying, JJ. Thank you, JJ Nessa. I think that's all I was trying to say, JJ Nessa. She said it's already been confirmed. They were separating. We just seeing the beginning of it. We know the Potomac editors are very intentional. Exactly. That's all I was trying to say, y'all. Moving on. So I feel like I just lost my damn train of thought. Hold on. Let me get my pen. Juan is okay. The people talk. Okay, all right. Karen trying to bring everybody together. So the ladies are on one court playing, and the guys are on another court playing, and it is what it is, right? So they sit down to eat because now we got to talk. So Karen started off by saying, "Listen, I was bringing all y'all right. That's what I was trying. Yeah, I was on what the hell was what Robyn went. Who put a pin in that? Who the hell told Robyn? What the hell did you have on, girl? First of all, number one, it wasn't cute on you. Number two, was it the most appropriate thing to wear? I mean, it just wasn't cute. I feel like, but okay, all right. Maybe y'all liked it. I didn't like it. She was channeling her inner Beyonce. Oh, well, child, that fail. It just wasn't to me. It just wasn't. It wasn't cute, and it didn't flatter her. I didn't think it was cute on her. And I'm not saying it just. And I mean, when everybody else was wearing their little tennis skirts and stuff like that, it just, I don't know. Child, Giselle's hair is always a mess, but you were right. It was tragic. And the fact that her hairdresser actually showed up and it looked that bad, because it was tragic. Giselle's hair was tragic. I agree. Her roots was doing one thing and the rest of her hair was doing something else. And then she had that little ponytail with the hump thing. It was a mess. I agree. It was a whole mess. So Karen starts off by trying to bring the people together, and she's explaining, listen, a lot of us aren't in a good space right now. You know, me and Robyn, we're working on things. And Robyn was like, why is she saying my name? Why did she have to say my name? I don't understand why she has to say my name. And I was like, if you would let Karen get through her little speech, I feel like she was going to go down the list of all the people that are in a bad space. I feel like she just started with herself since it was her. You know what I'm saying? I just thought she was talking about herself. Okay. But then Nneka decides to, and what was Nneka's wig doing? I'm really sick of the baby hair. I mean, I get it that that's how those wigs are made, that you got the baby hair, whatever. Like, I get all of that, but what was Nneka's hair doing with the middle part and then the baby hair? Mm-mm. So that's when Nneka inserts, and she comes directly for Wendy. Here's the thing. I feel like, again, I know we're filming a show, and I get it. We have to give them a show. But I feel like Nneka could have had just as much of a moment had she pulled Wendy aside and said, hey, girl, because the cameras are still going to film it. And if Wendy is going to get loud and ignorant, she's still going to get loud and ignorant. But the fact that you did it in front of everybody and you came at her accusatory, I think it automatically put Wendy on the defense. Now, do I like the way Wendy responded? I do not. And because Wendy responded the way she did, it leads me to believe that there is some validity in what Nneka is saying. Do I think everything Nneka's saying happened the way Nneka said it did? No. Do I think that those phone calls took place? Yes. She even showed us a screenshot of a woman named Sharon calling her. Now, I found a couple of things interesting. You already got Wendy Mama name programmed in your phone. Because I know now that if you call somebody, your name will pop up, but it'll be the name that's on the account. So it'll say your whole name. It would have said Sharon, whatever is Wendy's mama's last name. It just said Sharon, which makes me feel like you didn't program. So did you program the number in after she called you so you would know it was her number? Or did you program it, or was it already in your phone? And then you ain't have to add nothing on there like Wendy's mama. I know when people like, for me, I would have had to add Wendy's mama. Cause I don't know you, right? I don't know you. And clearly, don't I know more than one Susan? Her name is not Susan. I'm sorry. My bad. Like, don't I know more than one Susan? I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was very interesting. That it just says Susan. But I mean, I digress. So somebody named Susan called you on Good Friday. Was it Wendy Mama? Maybe. It may very well have been Wendy Mama. I can't say it didn't happen. But I'm gonna tell y'all what I think happened. And this could be me, this could be me reaching. Y'all tell me if I'm reaching, tell me if I'm doing too much, tell me, really be you doing too much. Okay. But this could be me reaching. But this how I feel it had went down. Wendy Mama may very well have called that woman. And Wendy Mama may very well have evoked some sort of religious statement in her conversation with that woman. And she may very well have even said altar. I said this last week, and I'm not saying that this is what happened. I'm just saying, I said this last week. We heard, haven't we heard people say, I'm going to go lay this down on the altar. I'm going to put you on the altar. I've actually heard the old folks say that about people, especially like I know my grandmama used to say that about people all the time. If it was some kids that was acting a fool, one of her grandkids, she said, I'm taking that to the altar. Y'all ain't never heard people use that term before, that terminology. If I'm tripping, y'all tell me if I'm tripping. If I'm reaching, if I'm grasping, y'all tell me I'm grasping. But have you never heard people say that before? I'm laying that at the altar. I'm putting you on the altar. Ain't nobody ever say that. So I feel like, do I feel like Wendy Mama was out of order and maybe called that woman on some ish? We didn't see Wendy Mama on some ish. Hell, Wendy Mama was down to the Instagram last season coming for Mia. So do I think that if she feels like Wendy's mama, I mean that this woman was disrespecting Wendy, and because let's not listen, let's not forget. Let's rewind again. And I don't. And again, I go back to what Xavier said. I don't know the timeline, but let's go by the timeline on the show. Let's go by the timeline on the show. Let's rewind it a little bit. Nneka, Ashley went to Wendy and told Wendy that you was out here disrespecting her degree, right? And that you basically said that her and her family were cursed. That is what Wendy got from Ashley. Now, we saw Wendy tell Eddie, and we saw Wendy tell Candace and the new girl. Y'all don't think Wendy picked up the phone and called her mama and her sister and said, yeah, this new chick on the show is out here talking about we are part of the curse group. Remember that article that came out a couple of years ago? Yeah, she bringing all that shit back up. I can see that happening. I can see that happening, right? Because remember, that's what Ashley told Wendy. And I can see Wendy telling her people, yeah, this chick out here talking this bull hockey. And I can see them taking it upon themselves to address it. And that I can see Wendy mama saying, baby, it's the blood of Christ over here. I don't play them games. I don't know. But I do not think it is what they're trying to make it out to be. And like I said last week, I think this is low-hanging fruit. And I think that this is lazy storyline production, because you are playing into the ignorance and into the stereotypes that are already out there about African culture. And I think that it is what's the word I'm looking for? I think that it is it's a word I'm looking for. It's not coming to me. It's not coming to me. It's the word I'm looking for, but it ain't coming to me. But I think that it's irresponsible. That's the word I'm looking for. I think that it is irresponsible for y'all to create and curate this storyline, because it's very clear that Wendy's mama loves Jesus. And I think it just plays into the stereotypes that are out there about African culture. And I don't want to go too far left with it, but let's get back to the show. Hey, what's up, Patches? Hey, boo. But with that being said, it is all Ashley's fault, G-Mom. This is all Ashley's fault because I absolutely feel like Ashley. I feel like when Ashley went and lied, you know. But now I don't like the way Wendy responded, and I'm gonna tell you why. Wendy, you gave them what they wanted, and it really made your mama look guilty. Because I'm gonna tell you, I would have sat there and been like, okay, so what is that? Can you explain exactly what my mother said? Can you explain? I need to hear exactly what did my mother say to you? Okay, so my sister-in-law called. Okay, cool. And then my mother called you. Can you tell me what I want to know word for word what she said? Because again, things do sometimes get lost in translation. We do play a game of telephone, and that story evolved every time we heard it. It was something different. Every time we heard it, it was something different. Y'all know what I'm saying? So Wendy's response, I think, did not help the situation, right? So then, as a way, I do think Wendy was deflected, but I also think Wendy was de-escalating by saying, Mia, let me go talk to you, girl. Because of all the people in the room that Wendy could have a conversation with, she chose Mia. But I do think that she was deflecting and she was de-escalating. Because she probably caught herself and was like, all right. Because that woman called her out her name. Like, that woman straight up was like, bitch. See, that was a lie. That was a lie. So while Mia and Wendy are talking, they really never get a chance to have any kind of a conversation because somebody knocked the food over and they just started a fire down to these good people's establishment, okay? And that is when we start having the Facebook conversation. Now, I didn't already touched on this whole Facebook thing, but again, I'm really perplexed as to why this whole Facebook thing became such a big issue. Because again, girl, first of all, I've told y'all this a million times. I can't tell you who follows me and unfollows me. I don't pay attention to that kind of shit. I don't get an alert. Like, how did you know he unfollowed you? Because I don't get no alert when people unfollow me. I don't get no alert when somebody blocks me. Because I know I unfollow people and I block people and I don't have to make an announcement about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did y'all even know he unfollowed you? Who checks that kind of stuff? That's what I want to know. Because I promise y'all, I could not tell you who follows me and who doesn't follow me. I really don't pay attention to that kind of shit. I promise you I know. I know who I follow and who I don't follow. And I know that, right, Xavier, there's an app that tells you. But what I'm saying is, so you care enough that you are downloading an app for somebody to tell you who is unfollowing you on social media? I mean, seriously, do you understand how crazy that is? As a grown ass adult, as a grown ass woman, do you understand how crazy that is? So again, bug news. I think you must have came in late, baby. We talked about that. We talked about that. I think you came in late, babe. We had that whole conversation already. But I just feel like, again, they may very well have been in the same organization in college. That does not mean they know each other. That doesn't mean they were friends. That doesn't mean they hung out together. That doesn't mean that they hung out in the same social circles. Being in a group with somebody, I promise you, does not mean that they were friends. It doesn't even mean they know each other. Because again, I'll reiterate, because I know some people came in after we had this conversation. Again, they were a part of, according to Nneka, they were part of the African Student Union. They were on the campus of the University of Maryland College Park. The University of Maryland College Park is a huge campus. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of students attend the University of Maryland College Park. That organization might have had hundreds of people. Now, if she had said Eddie was president and my husband was vice president, or she had said they were on an executive committee together, then I'd be like, okay, well, then they know each other. Because, I mean, they had to be in meetings together. They had to do projects together. They had to sit in, I get that. But just to say that we were all part of the same organization, what that mean? Again, I went to a very small college. And I was in organizations with people, and I promise you, I can't tell you who they were now. Especially if I was a freshman and they were a sophomore. I mean, if I was a senior and they were a sophomore, or vice versa. I don't know them people. I don't know them people. You know what I'm saying? At the University of Maryland, maybe they had that's no bug, no. When I tell you the University of Maryland College Park is huge, and I promise you there are hundreds of Africans there. I promise you. I promise you. But neither here nor there. It was just weird to me that it became such a big deal, even to the point where Nneka's husband act like he was offended. And he told me something, don't get in my face, bro. And like Eddie was just standing there like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody got in anybody's face. Like, it was just weird. It was just weird to me that this whole Facebook thing became a thing. You said it like a true cancer. My aunt does it like that too. Y'all don't be giving a damn. Hold on. Y'all don't be giving. Damn it. This thing. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all don't be giving a damn who don't deal with you. I don't. And again, I know everybody not like me. I get it. I get it. Everybody not like me, but I promise y'all I don't care. Wendy's mama says something similar to Mia. It's about 3 football stadiums. That's how big that campus is. That campus is huge. It is absolutely huge. I mean, again, University of Maryland College Park. I can't. I'm trying to give a good like comparison to a school, but it is huge. It is huge, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Every time I drive down College Park, the University of Maryland is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so again, it is very feasible that you could be in a club with somebody and not know everybody in that club. Like it is reasonable. It is a very reasonable thing. And again, I'm not saying that they didn't know each other. But again, they've been out of undergrad for years. Like you done went on to medical school, Eddie done went on to law school. Also remember Eddie joined a fraternity, so maybe that's where a lot of his attention went. I don't know if he joined an undergrad or not, but I mean, maybe that's where a lot of his attention went. Like it could be so many different things. And again, him unfollowing you, okay, sure, that could be a thing. But I just feel like they just came on real aggressive. And I do feel like some conversations were had between Wendy's mom and Nneka and Wendy's sister-in-law, sister, or whatever. I do believe that some conversations went down. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say that they didn't. I ain't gonna sit here and pretend like it couldn't have happened. I believe it did happen. But bug news. You don't have to believe me. That's fine. I live here. I live here. And I'm telling you, there are hundreds of African students at the University of Maryland College Park. I am telling you what I know. And you don't have to believe me, baby, and that's okay. But I'm telling you what I know. I grew up here. I have been on University of Maryland College Park's campus more times. I attended programs there. I have been up there for events. I have been going to the University of Maryland College Park since I was in middle school. I am telling you what I know. Telling you what I know. It is feasible. Bug news, you live here too? Okay, then you know what okay, forget it. Anyway, moving on. So that was the episode, y'all. I feel like y'all are being very cantankerous tonight, okay? I still love y'all, but I feel like y'all being very cantankerous tonight, okay? But that was the episode, y'all. So we'll be here tomorrow for Married to Medicine. And don't forget the Whether You Like It or Not panel. will be on Yocrates's channel tomorrow. I will definitely have it posted on my community wall. If you are not already subscribed to Yocrates, you should be. Y'all, if you are still in the clouds, please drop the link to your channel. Um, yeah. It's a massive school, period. Exactly. As someone that lives here, I co-sign that. The DMV has a huge African community, and so does College Park. Absolutely. I think Nneka chose a side before she got on the show. I agree. And she even said that she watched the show. So she's letting us know that she knew what it was on the show. I don't remember who was with me in the MBYLI. It's Ponat to know. I have no idea what you're saying, SCK. MBYLI. I don't know what that is. MBYLI. Tell me what you're saying, SCK. I want to know what you're talking about because I have no idea what you're talking about. I can believe they don't know each other, like probably knew of Eddie, but not the other way around. Right. I mean, again, I would need more information. But if Eddie was a senior and he was a sophomore or vice versa, I mean, it could be so many different variations. All right, thank you. There it is right there, you guys. Y'all just dropped it in the chat. Tracy just dropped it in the chat. So if you are not already subscribed to Yocrates, please subscribe to him now. And we will be there tomorrow at 8:15. I always say 8:15-ish, but you know, y'all don't play them kind of games. So I would say we're gonna be there at 8:15. Oh, Marion Barry Youth Leadership. Okay, Marion Barry Youth Leadership. Okay, because I was like, but okay, Marion Barry Youth Leadership Institute. Yeah. Well, you know, I was there too, honey. I was there too. Married to Medicine wasn't worth watching. Just Dr. G Sweet Tea Wedding, kind of boring. Okay, well, we'll talk about it, but it won't take too long for us to talk about it tomorrow, then, child. Okay. Well, I'm about to watch the Soul Train Awards, and if they worth talking about, we'll talk about that tomorrow, child. Maybe we'll find time. All right. With that being said, y'all have a good evening, everybody. Y'all is always on time. Now that he is, he's always early. Matter of fact, he is always logged in. Like, yeah, y'all, it's never y'all. Now I'm here to vouch for that. When we late, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of times we're there. We're just running our mouth. There are times when we are there. We are just backstage running our damn mouth. But anyway, Gizelle should not have been invited to Karen's event. She was all in Wendy's drama, but wanted to ice her out. Ciao. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all later. I'm about to slide over here and see what they talking about on these Soul Train Awards. What'd you say? Mo Media said it's worth what? This thing. Oh, this computer's getting on my nerves. Kiki killed it. Okay. It's worth it. Trust the Soul Trainer was okay. But I'm about to slide over there now. Thank y'all for being here. I will talk to y'all later. Mwah. Peace. Child, why this thing ain't ending? We still here. We still live.